Well, this week, 9 News reporter Brandy Smith has brought you stories on the critical 0 to 5 early learning period.
When she spoke with Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan, he said it is great that we as Americans have so many choices in how we educate our children. In tonight's special report, Brandy investigates the choice between Montessori and traditional public school. Brandy?
Thanks, Carol. In Cincinnati, there are several schools that brand themselves Montessori that serve preschool-age children. And although all these programs are not created equal, Montessori and traditional public school have some fundamental differences, each with merit depending on your values.
Teacher-led versus student-led. This is the main difference between the traditional public school approach versus the Montessori approach to education.
In Montessori, we are kind of taught that we're not the source of knowledge, and so our goal is to teach children how to acquire knowledge independently.
This is Juanita Johnson's 21st year teaching 3 to 6-year-olds in a Montessori environment. Dater's principal, Beth Schnell, has worked in both traditional and Montessori schools.
The parent has to really take a look at both settings and see which environment fits their values, because it's all based on a value system.
You already knew what I was going to ask you, didn't you?
First, people go with the myth. Well, they get to make all their choices, so there's no order. Where there is lots of order, it's order within choice. You have this choice and you get to choose your order. So it's for the child who's able to be independent, who's a self-learner.
It can be for any child. I do think that it can sometimes be overstimulating for children, but I think we're taught as Montessori teachers, directresses, that it's our responsibility to kind of call to the child, and that if there's something that's not working well for the child, then we have to figure out how to make the environment more appropriate, how to engage the child better. So I think it really can work with any child.
Dater Montessori is one of Cincinnati Public Schools' magnet programs. And while it's Montessori, Christine Wolf says it must also meet state standards.
We have to test at certain grade levels, so the teacher does have to make sure that that class is moving at the right pace so that they're ready to be tested at the grade levels.
Xavier University's Montessori Lab School Director Gina Lofquist says standardization focuses on limits.
In Montessori, we really look at each child individually. We don't per se look at benchmarks and set forth that the child should be able to do this at this point, because each of us have a natural flow to the way that we're going to develop, and it's our jobs as Montessori teachers to reach in and find out what the unique nature of that child is and to bring that out.
Wolf says that testing is the state's way of ensuring that the diploma means something when a student graduates from high school.
Your test results are tied to federal funding and state funding and just your overall accountability to the taxpayer.
Whichever approach you take, Lofquist says parents are the customer and they have the power to ask for what they want.
If you are tired of the testing, if you are tired of the standardization, if you are wanting us to be able to teach your child in a very holistic way, you have got to speak up. You have got to say no more. You know, no more. I want to know that my child is getting an education that is educating his being, not just his cognitive ability.
There are several more choices in Cincinnati Public Schools and beyond, depending on yours and your child's interests. For more information on all of those choices, go online to WCPO.com's School Zone 9 section of our website. Brendan and Carol.
Thanks, Brandy. Very important choice.